Welcome back to Titan Academy. In this video, we will cover how to style and add elements to the header. We will discuss which header components to display, how to configure them, styling the header parts using the Element Style panel, important style properties such as header height, spread mode, and setting space between components, and how to add elements to the header. Let's look at the header. As discussed in prior videos, the header strip has built-in components. Once you add the header component to the page, you will need to configure the components you want to display. The menu links are included by default. Here we have a home page, a My Details page, and a My Overlay page. If you want not to include any of these pages, simply click on the I, and that link will not be included. Other elements of the header, such as the logo, the title, user account, and user profile, are not enabled by default. If you want to include them, you will need to enable them and configure them. Here, we will include a logo. Select your image, like so. When the header components are set, you can style them. Select the header on the canvas, and click on the Style icon to open the Element Style panel. Notice how the header parts are listed on the left, allowing you to style each one individually, in addition to styling the header as a whole. Let's go over a few important header style properties. You can set the header height using the size property. You can change the header fill. Since the header is a type of strip, it has the spread mode available. If you only wish to show the fill inside the content area, disable spread mode. Another important thing to understand is that because you cannot manually move the components of the header, you will need to use the margin property in the different components to add spaces between them and set the position. For example, in order to add a space between the logo and the menu on its right, you will need to set a right margin in the logo properties. You could also use the margin property to change the component position inside the header. For example, you can add a top or bottom margin to move the element up or down. Here, I'll set the image top margin to 25 pixels. In addition to margin and position, you can also use the styling to change the size of the elements in the header. For example, we can change the width or the height of the logo. Under the link option, you can control the menu link styles, making them look interactive by setting the style for each of their states: default, hover, clicked, or selected. Let's change the fill for each of these states. For default, there is currently no color selected. I will leave that as is. For hover, I will set the fill to red. For clicked, I'll set the fill to yellow. And for selected, I'll set the fill to blue. Now let's look at how that changes the display and behavior of the links. Notice how the home link is now blue. That is because we are on the home page. Therefore, it is selected. On the My Details link, if we hover, then the fill color changes to red. And if we click, it changes to yellow. In addition to these header components, you can also drag additional elements inside of the header if needed. Since these are not an integral part of the header, styling these elements will be done like always by selecting the element, clicking the Style icon, and changing their properties in the Element Style panel. And that is how it's done.